you for stopping by today. We're talking more liposuction, fat transfer, how to get rid of these big hanging bellies without a tummy tuck. Uh, I'm here to share with you that there are options. You have choices. You don't have to get all that skin cut away. You don't have to be your ideal weight to get liposuction. These are not true. It is possible that liposuction can be done on larger individuals and you don't have to cut away the skin because it retracts back. It is possible. And so we've had there's a lot of success doing this, and I have a lot of individuals that are sharing their stories. If you haven't joined our private Facebook group, a lot of the pictures you'll see behind me in this next hour, they're shared by the individuals on our private Facebook group, so you can get the information directly from the horse's mouth, no pun intended. But people that are looking to change their life, those are the ones who I really want to work with. Because what I found is when we take out large volumes of fat out of people, it's kind of works as a catalyst in their life. So when you are already trying to make massive changes and life transformations, when you're already trying to do that, liposuction seems to be that catalyst that pushes you over the edge and allows you to jump into your future and kind of leapfrog into the next stage of your process. So when you have a larger belly, you may have been trying diet and exercise and doing things, but with this liposuction, we can literally suck the fat out in a single day. Now, clearly there's going to be a recovery process and it's going to take time. You're going to have some swelling, some healing, and we don't attain perfection. You can see by looking at these pictures that it's not perfect, so you're not going to get the skin pulled tight like you would if you're cutting the skin away. However, there's no big scar, and this person's going to look amazing in their clothes, and they're not going to have the restrictions of that big scar. And a lot of times, especially when you're doing on larger individuals, doing the tummy tucks are extremely difficult. It's a very artistic procedure, and if they don't make the incisions properly when they pull the skin back together, it ends up pooching out on the side, and it's a known complication. It's called the dog ears deformity, and it's very common, particularly on larger individuals, because if they don't get it right, which is very difficult, because literally you have to cut a perfect elliptical shape that's going to bring it together. I know there's calculations that they do to try and guess, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to guess at what the proper shape would be, and then when you pull it together, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. It is what it is, and they try to do the best that they can do. But in some cases, in many cases, it doesn't. It's certainly not the best. But it kind of depends on what your expectations are, right? It depends on what you're looking for. The skin doesn't look shriveled up after. Well, you can see at the pictures. There is some degree, but she already had a lot of that stretch marks and the looseness of the skin, and it went all the way up on the upper part of the belly. Now these pictures, if you zoom in on them, these are just a few weeks or a month out, so she's still got a lot of swelling. So a lot of that, those skin irregularities are due to the swelling in the scar tissue. And that's going to be early on. As everything matures and the tissue soften up, it'll start to look a little bit more natural, a little bit more normal. However, the stretch marks and loose skin that you have before the procedures, that's still there, as it would be even if you got it cut away, because they can never cut away all of that skin. I don't want to say never, because on some individuals they may be able to cut away all that skin. But on many individuals, they're not going to be able to cut away all of the stretch marks, because you just simply can't do it. When your stretch marks go up too high, there's only so far they can go. But the advantage of this procedure is you get to keep your belly button, so that's real. And you don't have this big scar, and there's many complications that you get after doing these procedures, like tummy tuck. There's many complications that you get that you have to deal with because of the scars. So it's a choice, and this is not for everybody. If maybe you think that your skin's too loose and you don't want to do this and you want to do a tummy tuck, by all means you should go do that. This is for the people that want options. Okay. It says, okay, it's say Fro 07 says, I thought the tummy tuck was better because it cuts the fat cells out. So that is not true. The tummy tuck is merely cutting the skin. Now, yes, they're going to cut some fat cells, but that's not the advantage of the tummy tuck. The advantage of the tummy tuck is that you're cutting the skin away. Liposuction, we suck out the fat cells, so the fat cells are being killed. But we do it with it's a more polished approach. When they do the tummy tuck, they cut away skin, and they'll do some liposuction. They actually use with the same technique that we use. However, their primary goal is to get that huge incision that they're making to cut away the skin. They have to get that wound to heal up. So particularly when you have larger individuals, their skin quality may not be as good, and they may have a reduced potential for healing. So if they do too much liposuction, the liposuction degrades the blood supply, and if you have degraded blood supply, that big incision may not heal. So what do? They typically will not do substantial liposuction during a tummy tuck procedure because their primary goal is getting that wound to heal. But you can see what's possible with liposuction only. This is liposuction only, no tummy tuck here, no cutting away the skin. And I show these extreme examples because I know not everybody's like this. Clearly, not everybody's like this. However, I show this just so you can realize that if it's possible for people like this, then if you're not even close to this, imagine what's possible for you. You think that your situation's bad? I show these really bad situations, these extended out situations. See, as you get heavier, the belly goes out and sags down. So this is the kind of stuff that happens. It sags down more the longer it's been like that. So maybe your belly's been hanging out there for 5 years, 7 years. And you're maybe in your mid 30s. But some of these women, they're in their 40s or 50s, and their belly's been hanging out there for decades. And what happens is the skin stretches, it hangs further, the tissue changes, it gets looser. The quality, everything changes. So, when you talk about possibilities for what's possible for you, well, there's so many variables that are going along with each individual, and you can see how they look so different as people age and situations advance. Your body does different things with the fat, but this is a function of the gravity. It's like physics. It's basic physics. So your body goes, you grow out, and then gravity pulls down. And when it pulls down, there's different forces that are at play here with your body. And your body will have different potential to fight against those forces. And some people may have tighter skin. They may have better connective tissue where they're able to fight. Their body fights, it keeps everything in tighter. Other people, it's like their body just lets go. And everything goes out and down and starts sagging further. Now, doesn't really matter what situation you have at this point. You can see we deal with all of the people. It doesn't matter what your situation is, we deal with it. And it's not about solving the problem 100% in many cases. And in many cases, it's about getting it like 80% better. 80% is a really big change. It's a really big improvement. It's not 100% better. Hey, damage was done in the past. Your skin what it is. This is not solving all your problems. It's solving the fat problem. And we can remove the fat. And if we can do it properly and get everything smooth and even, then we can get some amazing results. We can get these bellies, these folds that seem like it's impossible to get rid of. And we're able to get rid of it in one single procedure, which is phenomenal. Now, the cool thing, that how we figured this out, because there's limitations in how much fat that can be removed in one procedure. So for safety purposes, I figured out a way to create that's a single procedure where we can maximize the amount of fat out and do it all at once while still getting the results that we're getting. So with a situation like this, on this large of an individual, we focus and get all the fat out of the front of the abdomen, so everything that hangs in the front. And because I'm able to be more aggressive in that area, we can get bigger, more dramatic change. And this is something that's been very consistent, which is awesome. I've been doing this now and been getting these kind of results for a few years now. So we have a lot of, a backlog, a history of individuals to give you proof of what is possible for you. So you may be looking at these pictures and be like, wow, that's amazing for her, but what about for me? Well, go check out our private Facebook group, and a lot of these individuals are sharing their stories and their journey. They're showing pictures, and it's for you to see. and you can connect with them. And you can. The cool thing with Facebook is you can actually search a question, so you can search within the group a specific question, and most people ask the same question. So you search a question, and then you'll get a whole list of all the people who asked that question, and then comments, and it's a whole thread. So it's a great informational source. And then you can connect directly with these individuals. You can message them privately. Be careful, they're private people, so that you don't bombard them with stuff. But if you have some serious questions, I'm sure they'd be happy to help. Brittany Knowles just jumped on here. She's one of our longtime followers and recent rock star patients. I got a patient. What's up, Omel, my buddy from New York? Okay, Sarah, so if I get a consultation and send pictures, how soon can I have the procedure done? So Sarah, the consultation, the formal consultation is something that you're going to schedule with me personally, and then you'll send in some pictures. Once you get the consultation, we'll confirm the quote and the plan and everything. Then you can go ahead and start the scheduling process where you place a deposit. The deposit is 25% of the procedure cost. Once you place that deposit, you can pick a date and time on our schedule. And we're pretty flexible. My schedule now, is I work for 2 weeks on, and then I take 2 weeks off. And I do have the flexibility to expand if we get busier. So we are flexible. We can help you, and I don't like to be booked out for too far. I like to take care of people in a condensed. That's just the way I roll. It's the way I do things, and I have the ability to do it. So I do. Okay, no cutting, no tummy tucks. A lot of you you go to these plastic surgeons and it's the same story. They say the same things. What's up, Raquel? She's on YouTube, says that my shape lipo was the best decision as far as liposuction, and the everyday benefits are more than I imagined. We had another patient today. This is Raquel. Raquel had a really cool story that she improved her blood pressure, was able to lower her blood pressure medication by, she said, not a quarter of what she did previously, and the blood pressure is now better controlled. And she also has PCOS. Now, this is something I'm not super familiar with, is PCOS, polycystic ovary disease, but it causes a lot of hormonal changes, and apparently the patients gain weight. And so I've seen this now. This is the second patient now. So Raquel, she had the experience where after we took the fat off of her belly, you could see, we took a lot off of her, and that seems to have changed the hormones in her body. And she claims that previously she didn't get, her period regularly, and was getting it once or twice a year, irregularly. And now, since the procedure, she's been getting her period regularly, which is awesome. I don't quite understand it, but it's really cool, right? And I thought maybe that's a fluke, maybe it's whatever. Well, today, there's a recent post in the group, and another one of our previous patients, the recent patient, says that she also has PCOS, and she had cysts that led to insulin sensitivity, and so she ended up gaining weight. And despite all of her efforts in diet and exercise and working out and doing all the things that she was doing, she was unable to get results. So that's what led her to get liposuction. And so we did liposuction, did 360 on her, and she said that once the fat was gone, so was the insulin sensitivity, and she started losing weight. And since she's lost, I think she said like 30 or 40 pounds, and it's changed her life. So again, I don't really understand how this stuff works. Nobody's doing studies on these things. I'm just doing, and I'm making these things happen, and we're getting these amazing results and these really cool stories. And I wish there was someone that would do studies on this stuff. But meanwhile, we're going to help a lot of people. And if you know people who have issues like this and are they might be stuck in these situations where they don't know what to do. With PCOS, I know they're getting. I've known for a long time these patients commonly they gain weight, and it sucks. So maybe liposuction's a choice. I don't know. It's a solution for a lot of different things. I've seen some weird things over the years, and the improvements that people get, the life changes that they experience, and I'm just sucking fat out of them. But there's really some cool stories. Okay. He said, "Yes, I need this. I was sold when you said I can keep my belly button." Yeah, it's the little things in life, right? The belly buttons are. It's weird, right? They cut the belly button out and you say they sew it up, and it's like it's this tiny little perfect. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if we have to keep it, but it looks like aesthetically, pleasing in a certain way. The interesting thing with just the liposuction is it actually the belly button goes through changes, and again, these are all kind of natural changes that it goes through with physics. And as you get bigger, that hole gets wider, right? But as it gets wider and the skin sags, it starts to sag down, and so you get this sad face. She didn't have it as much. She ended up forming this like vertical line, and you can see after how her belly button changed and the way it looks. But quite a few patients, that belly button is a point of weakness in the tissue, so it tends to get a fold just from the gravity pulling down on it, the weight pulling down on it. So when you remove the volume of fat from the belly button area, it changes in the way that the skin is being pulled down, which changes the whole look of it. And there's no way that I can predict. There's no way. I just do what I do, and we hope that good things happen, and usually they do. Not always, but usually it happens well. And you have to realize going into these things that there's, nothing is ever guaranteed. This is all an art, and while this is possible, you zoom in close, you can see it's certainly not perfect, but amazing, right? The huge big change that is possible when you remove a substantial volume of fat. It's incredible, but if you zoom in and you're like microscopic and you're looking at the small picture, the small portion of it, you'd be like, oh well, yeah, but the skin had a little irregularities and she had some stretch marks, and it's a little bit fuller here. You can totally pick it away. You can totally do that all day long, absolutely, if you want. Or you can look at this from afar and see like how this person can now wear amazing clothes, and who cares what it looks like underneath, because most of you aren't strippers, I'm guessing. Most of you aren't out there showing your body anyways, I'm guessing. But maybe it puts you in a situation where you're comfortable in your clothes. You're comfortable wearing something different that you didn't wear before. That's what this is all about. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for way better, right? I mean, we can shoot for perfection. That's the goal. I'm always trying to be the best that I can be. But you got to keep it real. You got to be honest, and you gotta be realistic with what's happened with you in your life, and nobody knows but you, right? So you come to me with all of your dark secrets in the closet, and you tell me this small history of what is what happened with you. But the truth is I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody's going to know. You probably don't remember all the things that have happened to you for decades, all the things that contribute to the potential outcome here. But all we can do now is the action in the now. I know what I can do is I can remove the fat in a specific manner, in a specific technique, and I know that from the past that if I do this, the body will respond a certain way. And if I can get the body to respond a certain way, you will get the results that look similar to what we get behind us. Sometimes it works out well. Sometimes it works out great. The techniques are like, they're great, but they're not flawless. And I keep polishing and doing more and doing as much as I can to get better. But the reality is it's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. But I keep trying, and I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to improve. And I see every time it's not perfect, I see how it's not perfect, and I see if I can do a little bit better next time. But that's my personality. That's the way I do things. And part of you being on this thing, this live, whatever you want to call it, is that you get to feel what it's like, or understand what it's like to be me, and understand who I am, who's going to be doing your procedure, because that's a big part of the trust. I know that you want to go somewhere that you like us. So if hopefully you like these results, you like the things that we're doing, us. You've seen us before. I didn't just pop up this thing as like a little kiosk at the mall and started as doing liposuction. I've been doing this for about 15, 16 years, thousands of procedures. The results are consistent. And I want you to trust us. I want you to trust me. And that's why I'm here. I show up, once or twice, 3 times a week maybe to speak and to communicate and answer questions and share my experience, because this is like a full circle, right? So these, at some point, these individuals that you see behind me were right in your seat, and they were looking, and they're like, wow, that's amazing. I wish it could be me. And so, I've drawn those people in, and then we take them through this path, and we do these procedures, we do the things that we do, and they come out the other side, and they have these results. Now, when they get those results, they turn back around and they help people just that were just like them. And so that's why through our private Facebook group, they have the ability, you have the ability to connect directly with these individuals, and that's, I'd highly suggest going to there. It's on Facebook. You're gonna search in the groups. It's a My Shape Lipo support group. Audra Israel, what's up? I see you're there. Thank you for stopping by. We just had a picture up of you. It must be so weird seeing pictures of yourself. I know it's weird when I hear myself talking through these speeches. It's bizarre, but I can imagine as the individual. I know that when people come to me, they come to me usually with some type of either like self-esteem issues, or they have insecurities about something. They don't like the way that they look, or whatever the case. They have some type of insecurities. So I know that when people come to me like that, to solve their problem, it's not just taking out the fat. And if you don't change the mental game, if you don't change the psychological, the way you think about yourself, the self-talk, the way that you see yourself, if you don't change that, then the physical change, it doesn't really make any difference, because you'll still act the same. So someone like Audra Israel, she was this person who, she got these amazing results, but then she took it and she added this belief that constant improvement and constantly getting better into her psyche, into her mindset, into the way that she does everything in her life, and she's always improving. And I've been able to watch her. You have the opportunity to watch her, but you can see through her social media, through the things that she shares, that she is feeling a way about herself that has allowed her to be more interactive with people, that has allowed her to go to pool parties, that has allowed her to go to these parties and interact with people in a way that has enriched her life. And I just spoke with her the other day, and she told me that she was able to advance in her career and make more money, and things that just have really like spawned. And if you can imagine like the flower, the lotus, how it opens up into all these potentials. And that's what, when people come to me, it's like they're like a nut, and it's a hard shell to crack, but once we can crack it, we get out the insides, like it can blossom. It's not easy. This stuff is not easy for you to blossom the way that Audra has. It's not. Don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe the hype that it's just get this procedure and magic happens. It's not that easy, because just as many awesome, amazing, incredible stories as we have like this, there's other people that fall by the wayside. And that's why I'm pushing. I'm like, it's our responsibility to make sure that the others don't fall by the wayside. Because Audra went through the process, and she knows the pitfalls, right? We all fall into these ruts, these holes, these limitations, these speed bumps, whatever it is that's slowing us down. And so when you've been through it, it makes you stronger, more confident. And now you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience to reach back and be like, hey, I know that you're struggling. I know this issue. I had the same issues, and I was able to get through it. When you're able to do that for somebody else, it feels good. For one, you're able to make a difference and impact on someone else's life, and it's a pretty cool thing. But you're helping them to get over their challenges. And when they do that, they're able to continue advancing forward and finding their dream, whatever that is. So, cool stories. But I'll tell you, the thing that has been the most popular is just the fact that we're able to get rid of these hanging bellies. And it's been so consistent. It's, I can't say things are guaranteed, but, this is consistent. And if we're not making it go away completely, it's substantially smaller. And there's been a few people that I've seen, they still got a little inkling of that folded tissue. But you know, there's unique situations, like when you have scar tissue from C-section scars, you know, they could cause some irregular scarring in that region, which affects the folds. So I don't control everything. I just do the best that I can with the situation I have. So we are doing this 15% off special, and the special is ending tomorrow. So in order to take advantage of this 15% off special, you got to place your deposit by the end of this month, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. You got to place a deposit and schedule the procedure by the end of next month. Let's see. Chick says, I'm in NYC, we'll be going to Vegas in August. I would like the discount for lipo on abdomen and arms. So Chick, we have this special right now, but you'd have to get the procedure next month. What's up, glorious woman? Thank you for coming back. Greetings from South Carolina. Can you do multiple procedures in one day, or do I have to come back for them, i.e. abdomen and back, and then come back for thighs? Yeah, so, you know, the limitation is how much fat that we can remove in a single procedure safely. And what we're finding is that, and there were studies that studied this, but what we're finding is that it's the larger the BMI, the more fat that can be removed safely. So it's almost as if it's a function of a percentage of the body fat. So the heavier you are, we can remove more fat, but it's a fixed percentage, and it's not really a fixed percentage. It's but it seems to be some type of sliding scale, which means though, on a downside, when you're lighter, when you're not as heavy, then we're not safely able to remove a substantial volume of fat. So it's a percentage of the body fat, or the percentage of the body weight. And my belief behind this is that the percentage is really it's a volume. So when we remove a volume of fat, that percentage, that volume, it affects the volume of the body, and you get it's essentially like dehydration. So when we remove the liposuction, your body responds by being severely dehydrated, and so treatment of that is just you know, rehydration, and you can do that prior to the procedure in anticipation of this issue. So that would be the plan, is prior to your procedure we would overhydrate, drink plenty of water, so then when the procedure comes, if you get a little dehydrated, you don't the effects aren't as obvious. What's up, Sandra? So I want to appreciate everybody who comes out here and stops by, says hello, and you know, answering any questions. I hope you had a great weekend, you know, with this whole holiday. You know, this is the, you know, as a business owner, I don't even think about this stuff. I had no idea that this was a holiday. I had no idea that we weren't supposed to be working on this day. So here I am, and fortunately Granville was able to come out here. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and maybe you have a day off today. This is a national holiday. But as an owner, man, it's like it's 24/7, always working, always thinking, right? I may not be always sucking fat, but I'm always thinking, always doing, trying to get better, trying to improve. But you know, here's one of those patients. You can see how that belly button turns into that sad face, and so that's based off of the elasticity of the skin. And you see how she had very loose skin. And after photo, you can see how that changed in the belly button there. Now she still has loose skin. She had loose skin before. She still has it afterwards, but it's natural. It is what it is, you know. It looks natural, and she doesn't have any big scars or any weird looking things. It looks natural. It feels natural. She's got stretch marks, which is what she had prior to the procedure, but the belly's flat, and that flap of skin is retracted, and it's substantially better. And the cool thing is she looks better, she feels better, and she's wearing different clothes because she feels more confident. And that's really what this is all about. It's really ultimately whatever your results are, you want to feel a certain way. And you want to feel a certain way because you want to look at yourself a certain way, or you want other people to think of you a certain way. But ultimately, it's a feeling that you're going to get. And I'll tell you, the added benefit that most people, your primary goal with liposuction is not your health, but that's the added benefit. And you're going to get this amazing benefit with better health, more energy, and it's gonna affect a lot of different things that you had no idea, no expectation of. But this is just the added benefit that, hey, we're sucking out fat. You're gonna get this, so it's you know, you're lucky. We should all feel lucky sometimes. It's amazing that this is even possible. That this can be done under local anesthesia while you're awake. So Glorious Woman says, do you videotape procedures just for the clients? Just for, the videotape procedures they're usually like a planned something, and they're usually some individual in particular, like maybe they're an influencer or have a big following. It's not a routine thing. I don't normally do it, and I don't particularly like doing it. It elevates the risk, and we're doing it live, which if anything goes wrong, there's always a possibility of liability. So I don't particularly like doing that stuff live. However, there are unique situations, and we do the best we can with those situations. But if you want like personal footage, we're open to take some short video. These procedures are pretty boring. I'm doing the same thing over and over and over. So it's not like a fun thing to watch per se, but it's if you just want a little like snippet, a little footage or something, or take some pictures throughout the procedure, I'm open for that. I'm confident in what I do, and I know that what I do is right, so I'm okay sharing. So those of you who are ready to change your life, those are the ones that I want to talk to. Those are the ones that I think are ready to get the biggest change. It's those individuals who have been struggling for a long time, and maybe you're kind of scraping along this proverbial bottom, where you decide like enough is enough. When you've had it, when you're just tired of the limitations, tired of all the excuses you've made for yourself, tired of not being able to show up to life, to activities, to pool parties, to events, not being able to show up because of you're embarrassed of sorts, or your insecurities of sorts, or you don't fit into the clothes the right way. I mean, I've heard thousands of stories of patients that tell me these things, and it seems like the same story is the same repetitive thing over and over and over. And because I'm seeing the repetitiveness about this, I'm sharing the story because those of you who have been through this same story, the path is this way. And I'm just telling you the path is this way because we've been able to help so many women with this problem, these issues with their stomach, their body, their insecurities. We've been able to help so many people that it's just I just want to shine a light and get it out there. And I want to just like a bullhorn, I want to tell as many people as possible, and that's why I'm here talking. And I hope that each of you will realize that this is not normal. It's not normal. So you got to share it with your friends. You got to tell your family, because the people that I'm sure people that have issues like this, and the people that have issues like this, they live with this insecurity, and they may not live with it on their sleeve where you can see all their insecurities, but they're there. I promise you, they're there. And behind closed doors, they have different feelings and different thoughts. They're not all smiles. So I've been there. I've known people. I talk to patients all day long. It's the same stories, and you know, I'm telling you, there's so many commonalities with these individuals. That's why it's a really an incredible opportunity to go to our private Facebook group and connect directly with these individuals, because you'll see, you're just like you guys are the same. There's a lot of the same stories, but the thing is, just as much as you're the same, you're totally different. All walks of life. You got wealthy, poor, you know, black, white, or whatever color you come from. You have people that have a bunch of babies, people that don't have that many babies, or don't have any babies at all. People that are very active, people that are very healthy, people that are unhealthy, all kinds of people. But there's common stories that bring them all together. And that's the thing. That's where I come in. They're coming into me. It's like this. It's funneling into me, and I'm able to help them down this path. And it's been a wild ride. It's been super cool. Uh, but there's hope for you, and that's what my job is. My job is to share the hope and to share the good word, and to allow you to make a better decision for yourself, and to realize you don't have to get a tummy tuck. What's up, Renee Perry? She says, I have a lipoma and have a large amount of painful fat right around my knees. Okay, so yeah, we do knees, we do thighs. Not sure what to make of this painful fat thing, but we'll have to evaluate the situation, see what makes sense for you. Um, yeah, but we do treat the knee. Look, I suck fat off of wherever you have fat, and you'll call it whatever you'll call it, but wherever the problem is that's where we suck out the fat. There are some areas that are more sensitive. Not like sensitive sensation wise, but I mean like there's more things to consider. Like for example, on the back part of the knee, there's a lot of blood vessels. Like to stay away from those. So there's different, there are some limitations, but essentially we're gonna get the fat out and try and take it out in a natural looking way, where it's smooth and even and takes your natural contours ideally. But commonly when you have fuller knees, it's really important to not limit the treatment to only the knees, because say if you have larger thighs and you make the knees smaller down here, it won't fit. It won't be natural, and you don't want your thighs to funnel down. They should take a natural contour. So with the liposuction, typically when we treat the knees, I recommend treating all the way in the inner thighs as well, and that allows me to create a more natural contour for more natural results. Otherwise, when individuals, for example, if you treat the inner thigh area because you might have rubbing, and you have fullness in the thighs, if you don't treat fullness in the knees, if you don't treat the knees at the same time as the inner thighs, you'll have this like scooped out look. It'll look like you took an ice cream scooper and took it out of this area but didn't go to this area. So I don't recommend it, which is why get the consultation. These are all the things that we need to discuss and evaluate and figure out what's right for you. And I've done thousands of these procedures on lots of different women. We've made mistakes, poor decisions early on that now I'm going to give you reasons why it's better to do it a certain way, because we want to completely avoid potential pitfalls, and we can do that. And that's the amazing thing about having experience is I've already made mistakes. Other people have made mistakes with their body, the decisions that they made. Early on, I allowed the patients to kind of dictate to me what we should do, and that was a bad decision. Bad decision. I need to do what I know is right, and a lot of times individuals, they don't know what's possible. So in their mind, the way that they're thinking, they don't know what's possible for me to do. Therefore, they're making decisions on some like false fantasy that doesn't really exist. And then they're just basically hoping that I will be able to fulfill what they believe is possible. It's way better if you allow me to do what I know is possible. Way better. You're coming to me, right? So you have to have some degree of trust in my process and what I do, because I've seen a lot of weird stuff and I've fixed a lot of weird problems. With that said, if you don't jive with me, we don't connect and have the same energy, then maybe I'm the wrong person, right? Maybe you need someone else that does it a different way, because if you don't like it the way that I do things and you're trying to get me to change the way that I do things, then maybe it's just not a good fit. Which is cool. There's lots of people out there that do this. They just, the results are different. So this special is ending. This 15% off special is ending tomorrow. So you need to place your deposit by tomorrow. And if you haven't had your consultation, you got to schedule that ASAP. I'll be doing some consultations tomorrow, and you can get the deposit in hopefully before the end of the day. But now's the time to do this stuff. This is getting you ready for the summer. Ready for the summer. We do the arms. See, we talk about the midsection so much. It's so popular doing that 360 lipo, but when you make your back leaner, your arms leaner, it totally changes. I mean, these girls, the language that they utilize, they talk about feeling like they're a linebacker. They're so full, and the fullness in the chest, and then the shoulders, and the width in the arms, and the underarm, the fullness that you have the underarm where you can't put your arm down all the way. It's a fullness there. Like, this is the stuff, the little things that they hate. They hate it. The bra strap goes right on there, and it causes indentations. It causes those rolls, which they hate, because when it rolls like that, it puts irregular pressure, irregular compression, which I'm sure causes pain and rashes. And look at this, it's like this, muffin top. We're pushing in on the fat and the skin, the looseness of the skin. It just does what it does, and you can see the results, how that stuff just goes away. It's amazing what happens when you just take out the fat and allow the body to do what it's supposed to do. It's amazing what's possible. And then you realize that all these problems, they came from the fat. And the fat, why is it there? So you got to get back to the root problems, the root of the issues. And if you don't start addressing the root, then the problems will tend to repeat and reoccur. So with liposuction, we are removing the fat cells. But how do the fat cells get there? In many cases, the simplistic explanation would say that we ate more calories than we burned, right? So then we have calorie storage. So we're storing calories in the form of fat. I think that's a really simplistic. I don't know whether that's necessarily true or not. And lots of people have different complex situations and stories where they have hormonal issues, they have health issues, they have limitations, whatever the case. But the point is that when you add on fat, it causes restrictions to your life. It causes restrictions to your health, and many people have severe restrictions that make it difficult to live a highly functional life. So the limitations put them in a situation where they simply can't do the things that they really want to do, and that sucks. And I'm just here to say, you don't have to settle for that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. We have patients I have a patient coming this next week that I want to say she's 76 now. She first came to me when she was like 73 or 74 or something like that. And this will be her fourth procedure. And she's just gotten small little procedures, just kind of, improving. It's just, and she's kind of taken on this mindset that I speak about all the time, that it's just a constant, steady improvement. Your life has to be improving. If you're improving, you'll feel good about yourself. As you get older, it's even more important that you feel good about yourself and the things that you're doing. And even if you're not there, because she's not there yet, meaning she's not done, right? We're never done. Until we're done, like we're dead. Until we're dead, we're not done. So it's a constant improvement. You have to wake up every day until you don't. But if you're going to wake up, there's no easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to stay in bed. It's not easy to get up. It's not easy to work out. It's not easy to eat right. It's not easy to do anything. So whatever you choose, my suggestion is start doing things that are the right thing for you. You got to eat healthier. You got to drink more water. You got to be more active. You got to get better sleep. Like simple foundational things. And it blows my mind when I talk to people about the simple foundational things in their life, and then they make bullshit excuses as to why they can't do it. Well, I can't sleep right because of this, my kids or my work or whatever, and that's great. You still got to sleep though. I can't drink water because when at my job I'm always walking around, and well, that's when you should be drinking more water, right? All of us, I think, when we all know these things, we all know the importance of drinking more water. We all, the science is out there. We all know the importance of getting enough sleep. We all know the importance of being more active. We all know the importance of eating a better diet. And not only just eating a better diet, but protecting yourself from the toxins that we're exposed to from the food. Most people know this stuff now. We've opened up our eyes and we're aware and we're conscious of all these issues. But that's not good enough. Knowledge is potential power. The power comes from the action. You have to take that knowledge and put it into action. You actually have to get the sleep. You actually have to drink the water. And if you want the results from liposuction, you actually have to show up. This is the secret. You actually have to do these things. And if you do them consistently for an extended period of time, the results come to you. It's inevitable. When you eat properly for a long time, your body turns into the type of person who eats those type of foods. Our bodies, all of our bodies, we regenerate the cells in our body fairly quickly, but all of the cells will be replaced within 7 years. A lot of the soft tissue stuff, like our skin, the skin is completely replaced within 7 days, from my understanding, give or take. The organs of our body are replaced within months. The bones take a little bit longer because they're harder, 7 years. But essentially, our entire being is completely regrown within months. Within months. So if you do the right things for months, you will reproduce a different being. I'm telling you, this is like next level magical stuff. That if you're not realizing, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down here, this is like high level stuff. Your body will become the new person, and it takes like 3 months for a lot of the internal organs, and so you have to maintain your consistency. That's the key. The consistency is the key. Drinking enough, sleeping enough, getting enough exercises, eating the right foods. Simple stuff. It's not that difficult. Now, some of you may already have health issues from carrying so much weight, which then further inhibits you from losing more weight. I've heard the stories. These girls have PCOS, they have diabetes, and then once you have these issues, it makes it even more difficult. That's cool. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. But you got to start making the changes, and then we give you a little push. And then afterwards, you continue with the changes. You continue to improve. This recent individual I was talking about in the group, talking about she had PCOS, and once we got the fat off, everything changed for her, and the insulin sensitivity changed for her, and she was able to start losing weight. And she said within months, she was able to lose nearly 40 pounds, which changed everything for her. It transformed everything. And it can happen. It's crazy how quickly this stuff can happen. I watch this stuff, and I watch individuals go through this process, and it's slow but fast, if that makes any sense. When you look at it over like from week to week, it's a slow process. But when you start putting the strain together months of success, it happens so quick. And then you start having people, when they get 2, 3, 4 months out, the psychological changes start kicking in. The confidence starts kicking in, and when you start feeling better about yourself, it's like it diffuses into every other aspect of your life, your relationships, your family, your friends, It diffuses into everything when you have that positive energy, that love, that happiness, that like I feel fucking good. That's what this shit's about. That's what it's about. So you can feel good about yourself. And then once you achieve that, that shit's infectious. Infectious. That's infectious. And it'll affect all of those around you. The excitement, the motivation, the inspiration. Because when you show that it's possible to get amazing, incredible results, when you show that it's possible, and all your friends see, you're inspiring them, you're motivating them. They're like, man, if she was able to do that, if she was able to do that, then I can do it. And that little thought is the seed for success. So all you need to do is motivate one person to think in their mind that if you can do it, maybe I can do it. And that's what I'm here for. I'm saying, I'm speaking this stuff into existence, but I know these individuals. Go talk to them. Go see them on our private Facebook group. Go message them directly. Because it just takes one little seed. You know, in the Bible, they talk about the mustard seed. Mustard seed is a tiny little seed, and from the mustard seed grows this amazing, huge, massive tree. And the same thing is, it's a single idea. If you can get the idea that this is possible for you, then it can grow and it can bloom into this amazing results. But it starts with the idea. And then when you take that idea, you start taking action on that idea. And the only way that you're going to see the bloom, your only way that you're going to see it grow is if you nurture that idea. So you take this idea, hey, I want this liposuction, and it may not be possible today, but you got to nurture it. You got to water it and allow it to grow. And eventually it grows within you. These results, they come from the day of the procedure. But the long-term results, they come from the growth of the mind and the way that you think and feel about yourself. And that's the long-term stuff. And if we can address the short-term stuff and you can address the long-term stuff, then together we can work as a team and we can make huge, dramatic life transformation changes in your life. And it happens amazing. It's amazing. As you guys are jumping on here on Facebook, make sure you hit the share button. And we are still doing this 15% off special for one more day. You got to place a deposit by the end of tomorrow. So if you're serious, you're ready to move forward, usually people do this. They wait till the last day. And we have limited supply, limited space, and people wait till the last moment to place their deposit. So, don't be that person that gets stuck and, you're pushed back, or, you're trying to leave messages on our voicemail trying to get the deposit in at the last minute. Do this stuff early. If we have to do a consultation, we should get those in as early as we can tomorrow. Call our office. I'm going to try and make accommodations for whatever we can. However, we got a busy week of liposuction, which is making it a little more challenging for us. But we're going to help out as many people as we can. I'm looking to change people's lives, so I'm hoping to attract those individuals who are looking for this life transformation, who have been searching for it, who have been doing all of the things that they can and just haven't seemed to figure out a way to get it done. Haven't figured out a way to get the results that they're looking for. They're frustrated. Those are the people that I really want to work with, because I know that if I do my thing and they can keep doing their thing, then together we can get these amazing results. This stuff doesn't just happen. I don't care how much you diet, how much you exercise, this stuff is not going to go away with diet and exercise. It's incredible that this is even possible with liposuction, but it is. And I've figured it out. This is something that a lot of doctors would probably turn away, because people like this are challenging, and the results are, who knows what to expect. But I take on these challenges because I believe in what I can do. I'm confident and I know what is possible. So when I see these things, I can see the potential outcome, and in many cases, I can see more potential in individuals than they even believe is possible, which is exciting because I'll be able to far exceed the expectations, and that's really what I aim to do. Is I am aiming to exceed expectations, and do more than what you thought was possible. Because if I can prove to you that something is possible that you didn't think was possible, if I can prove that to you, once you have that idea implanted in your mind, that's the seed, that's the mustard seed that grows. Because that seed will show you and lead you to every other aspect of your life that is possible. Once you see it's possible, something that you think that you thought was impossible, that confidence will then help you to transcend other issues in your life and help you to achieve things that you thought were never possible. And that's when life really gets exciting. When you start far exceeding your potential, what you believed was possible, when you start far exceeding it, life gets a lot more interesting. And it opens up a whole new world of potential for you, because you thought based off of your current situation that you had these certain limitations. And now that you don't have those limitations, it opens up a whole potential reality. And that's the opportunity for you to create anything that you want out of your life. So I'm going to end this right now. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you get those deposits in before tomorrow. We got this 15% off special. So get those deposits in. You got to get your formal consultation tomorrow. Call our office if you haven't done that. We can take care of you early in the morning. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, Lawan, quick question. All right, I have a question. They say you have to be a certain weight for lipo or anything body cosmetic surgery. Would you need a tummy tuck after lipo? Will it have to be right away? So you can see just this picture right here that this individual didn't have a tummy tuck. None of the people that you've seen behind me have had tummy tucks. And please, I suggest you go to our private Facebook group. We have many of our previous patients are sharing their photos like this one. And you can see none of the people get tummy tucks, none of them. And we're able to get these results without a tummy tuck. So do your research, and just realize that when you ask a plastic surgeon who they specialize in tummy tucks what you should do, they're going to tell you you need a tummy tuck. And when you ask a liposuction specialist like myself what you should do, I'm going to tell you you need liposuction. So you need to make a decision based off of the results, based off of your experience, based off of your trust and what you believe, and you make your own decision. I don't believe a tummy tuck is necessary, but the choice is yours, and I wish you the best of luck, Lawan. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to call the office. We got that special 15% off.